I don't know number nine's name off the top of my head.
Cashius Howell.
Yeah, man, he can bend that edge, man.
He's a first round pick for sure.
Yeah, man.
He has the potential to be one of the best pass rushers to come out of A&M right now.
When Myles Garrett left Texas A&M in 2017, he left behind a legacy that felt impossible to follow.
Action is going to be sacked. That is the third sack of the night.
6'5", 270 pounds. Number 1 overall pick. He wasn't just dominant, he was the face of Aggie football. For years after he left, every new pass rusher at A&M carried the same question on his shoulders. Is this the next Myles Garrett? And for a while, the answer was no. Until now. Because in 2025, a new monster is wearing maroon and white. And his name is Cashius Howell. Number 9 has turned College Station into his own personal highlight reel. He's not just good, he's disruptive. He's one of the top sack leaders in the SEC and already being called the next great Aggie edge rusher. But what makes his story special isn't just what he's doing now. It's how far he came to get here. This isn't a 5-star story. Cashius Howell didn't have the fancy offers. He wasn't a social media recruit or a player every program fought for. He was the kid who built himself from the ground up, rep by rep, snap by snap, until he forced people to notice.
And really regret that we didn't do a better job evaluating that. He's a dominant football player in this league.
Growing up in Kansas City, Missouri, Howell didn't have the flash or attention that most college stars do. He was raised on toughness and quiet focus. He went to Rockhurst High School, one of the hardest working programs in the state, and that's where the obsession started. While others were out celebrating wins, Howell was staying late, running drills, fixing footwork, and studying tape like it was homework. He wasn't trying to go viral, he was trying to be unstoppable. When the offers came, they weren't from powerhouse schools. No Alabama, no Georgia, not even an SEC look. Instead, Bowling Green saw what others missed, a motor that didn't stop. And that's where the legend quietly began. At Bowling Green, Howell started turning heads fast. In just one season, he became one of the most consistent edge rushers in the MAC. He racked up over 9 sacks, forced fumbles, and lived in the backfield. Scouts started whispering about that kid at Bowling Green who plays like he's got something to prove. And they were right, he did. Because Howell didn't want to just dominate a small conference. He wanted to test himself against the best, so when Texas A&M called, he didn't hesitate. He knew this was the stage where Myles Garrett once ruled. The same stadium, the same expectations, the same pressure. And instead of running from it, he embraced it. The jump from the MAC to the SEC isn't small. You're going from blocking future accountants to blocking future NFL linemen. But Howell didn't blink. From his first spring practice, coaches said the same thing. He moves different. The first step was explosive, the hands violent, and the motor relentless. Veterans couldn't stop talking about him. By the time the season started, it was obvious. Cashius Howell wasn't here to learn. He was here to lead. Now, just halfway through his first full season in College Station, he's already in double digits in sacks and among the SEC leaders in pressures and tackles for loss.
Cashius Howell made sure to come out today to show what this D-line is all about, picking up not 1, not 2, but 3 sacks in a row.
His timing off the line is elite, his strength through contact is scary, and his film study habits are what coaches dream about. Offensive coordinators have already started game planning around him. Sliding protection, keeping backs into block, anything to slow him down. But the truth is, they can't. Because this isn't a one-year wonder story. This is a player who worked his way from being overlooked to becoming one of the most feared defenders in college football. And the crazy part? He's just getting started. When Myles Garrett left Texas A&M, people said the next one might never come. But with number 9 terrorizing quarterbacks every Saturday, it's starting to feel like the legend might be returning, just in a new form. When Cashius Howell first arrived in College Station, he didn't walk in expecting to be the guy. He knew what room he was stepping into. Nick Scorton, Shamar Stewart, Shamar Turner, all proven veterans, all NFL-bound talents. And instead of seeing them as competition, Howell saw them as his classroom. His first year at Texas A&M, the 2024 season, wasn't about stats. It was about study. He watched how those guys prepared, how they stretched before every practice, how they attacked film, how they broke down protection schemes before the ball was even snapped. While some transfers come in impatient, Howell waited his turn, quietly soaking up everything he could. In interviews, his position coach said, "Cashius might not have played every down last year, but he learned every one of them." And when the trio of Scorton, Stewart, and Turner declared for the 2025 NFL Draft, the torch was ready to be passed. This time, Howell wasn't just stepping into the rotation, he was stepping into the spotlight, and from the first snap of spring practice, everyone knew he was different. Coaches said the same thing over and over. He's faster, he's stronger, he's ready. Even the older guys who came back for Pro Day stopped by the facility and said it themselves. That kid's next. By the time fall rolled around, Howell wasn't the quiet transfer anymore. He was the new face of A&M's defense, and the SEC found out fast. In his first few games as a starter, he played like someone making up for lost time. Every snap looked explosive. That same first step, the same violent hands, the same relentless energy that made coaches believe in him from day one. He wasn't just reacting to plays anymore, he was dictating them. Against Florida, he recorded 2 sacks and a forced fumble, the kind of performance that doesn't just show up on tape, it changes the game. By week 5, he was already among the conference leaders in pressures and tackles for loss. Analysts on ESPN started using words like problem, nightmare, and first-round potential. But the best part? Howell didn't change. Same work ethic, same silence. He wasn't posting highlights or chasing interviews. He was showing up to the facility early, staying late, and reminding everyone that the quiet ones are often the most dangerous. And when you watch him now, you can see it. The time spent learning behind those veterans paid off. His footwork is sharper, his balance better, his reads faster. He understands offensive lines like a veteran. He knows when to fake the outside rush, when to collapse inside, when to bait the quarterback into pressure. That's not raw talent. That's mastery earned the slow way, through patience. Every week since, Howell has built on it. He's not just stacking sacks, he's stacking respect. Defensive coordinators around the SEC are already adjusting their blocking schemes. Running backs are staying in to help. And offensive tackles? They're losing sleep. What's even scarier is his stamina. Fourth quarter, tired legs, late game situations. Howell still moves like it's the first drive of the game. That relentless motor is what coaches dream about. That's what makes him not just good, but special. You can feel the difference in A&M's defense this year. There's swagger again. There's belief. Players are feeding off Howell's energy, and Kyle Field feels alive in a way it hasn't in years. And it's not just the fans noticing. NFL scouts are showing up early to watch him warm up. Because they know. They know that the kid who spent last year learning is now the one every offense has to plan around. Every snap tells the same story. A player who waited, studied, and then exploded when his moment finally came. And now that the spotlight's his, Cashius Howell doesn't look like he's giving it up anytime soon. As the season pushes deeper into November, one thing is clear. Cashius Howell isn't just filling a role. He's redefining it. Every week the numbers keep climbing. Sacks, tackles for loss, quarterback hurries. But the stat sheet doesn't tell the whole story, because Howell's real impact shows up in how the game feels. You can sense it the moment he lines up. The left tackle glances his way. The quarterback checks protection twice. Even the crowd gets louder when they see number 9 standing wide on the edge. That's presence, and few players ever reach that level. When you look at what Myles Garrett meant to Texas A&M, it wasn't just dominance. It was identity. He gave the program swagger. He made recruits believe that A&M was where elite defenders are built. And for a while, that identity faded. But with Howell, it's coming back. You can see it in how the defense carries itself. More energy, more confidence. They play faster because they trust him to make the big play when it matters most. He's the kind of player who changes the temperature of an entire sideline. Teammates describe him as quiet off the field but commanding when the pads go on. He doesn't give pregame speeches or pose for cameras. He just walks out, straps up, and performs. And that calm energy, that quiet confidence, is what makes him lethal. Because when the fourth quarter hits and everyone else is tired, Howell is still sprinting, still studying, still thinking 2 moves ahead. Defensive coordinator Elijah Robinson said it best after A&M's win over LSU. Cashius doesn't chase plays, he creates them. And that's what separates him from everyone else. He doesn't need the perfect call or the right matchup. He just finds a way. When you've got a guy like that on your defense, the whole team starts to believe. But what's remarkable about Howell is how grounded he's stayed through it all. Ask anyone around the program. They'll tell you he's the same kid who showed up from Bowling Green with a backpack, a notebook, and no ego. Still the first to arrive, still the last to leave. Still spending extra time with younger players, helping them understand stances, reads, and hand placement. He's not just chasing greatness, he's building it around him. And for a program like Texas A&M, that kind of leadership means everything. Because football powerhouses don't stay relevant through recruiting alone. They stay relevant through culture. Myles Garrett started that standard. Cashius Howell is restoring it. Every few years, the SEC produces one of those guys. Players who dominate so completely that they become the face of the conference. Right now, Howell's putting his name in that category. Double-digit sacks, consistent disruption, and most importantly, that same sense of inevitability you felt watching Garrett all those years ago. But Howell's story isn't finished. He knows it. The coaches know it. The scouts know it. This is just the beginning. Because every snap he takes now is building towards something bigger. A legacy that could stretch far beyond College Station. He's got the frame, the technique, and the intelligence that NFL front offices drool over. And if he keeps developing at this pace, you'll hear his name early on draft night. Maybe even in that same range Garrett once went. But that's not what drives him. He's said it himself in interviews. I don't chase comparisons, I chase consistency. That's the mentality that defines special players. Not chasing headlines, but stacking good days until they become great seasons. And for A&M fans, it's more than just production. It's hope. It's belief that their program still breeds elite defenders. That the next era of Aggie dominance isn't in the past, it's happening right now. Walk around Kyle Field on game day and you'll feel it. Kids wearing number 9 jerseys, students chanting his name after every sack, the band striking up as the defense trots back to the sideline, full of swagger. It feels familiar. Like the old days when Myles ruled the edge and every quarterback in the SEC looked terrified to face him. That's the power of players like Howell. They don't just make plays, they make programs matter again. And if you're wondering whether all the hype is real, just turn on the film. Look at the way he bends around the corner without losing speed. Look at how low he gets, how fast he closes, how violent the finish is. It's the kind of stuff that makes NFL scouts stop mid-note and whisper, "That's different." And maybe that's the best way to sum him up. Different. Not manufactured, not overrated, just pure, hard-earned dominance. Cashius Howell's story started far from the SEC spotlight. No 5-star label, no National Signing Day fanfare, just a kid from Kansas City who believed that work beats hype every single time. And now that same kid is carrying a legacy once thought untouchable. Because when Myles Garrett left Texas A&M in 2017, everyone wondered who would be next. And for years, no one had the answer. But now, they do. Number 9, Cashius Howell, the name every offensive tackle in the SEC has circled, the player who's brought the roar back to Kyle Field, and maybe, just maybe, the next Aggie legend bound for Sundays.